Hey everyone, this is Stephanie at Hightower Stitching. Today's video is a quilter's heart in the making for beginners and others. And what I'm going to have is the materials that you'll need and sewing directions for making a stunning 12-inch quilt block with a heart and arrows. And this will all be in one show today. And this is the heart that we're going to make. You can make the heart and stop without the arrow. You can make it into several hearts with for a runner, for a pillow, because a 12-inch, or for a whole quilt. This came from Quiltmaker magazine for January, February. And what was so fun about this one was I cut out the pieces. There was nothing hard. And then I got ready to sew it, and all of a sudden I was done. And it got so exciting. It was like, be still, my heart. I've got a good heart to show you guys how to make today. And we're going to start and just look at 3 units that make up the heart. And this is unit 1. And unit 1 has got a 6.5-inch square, which is my pink, and a 2.5-inch square, which is white. I'm using white for the background, and you could change that. But if you'll look at that, it's in the top right-hand corner, and I've drawn a line with a dark marker. You don't want to do that. You could use a mechanical pencil or fold it, and then just stitch across that line. That's to make the first unit for this heart. And I think as I go through the 3 parts, you're going to say, boy, that is kind of nice. And here's the second part. This is unit 2. I'm going to have one 6.5-inch square again, another pink one. This time I need 2 2.5-inch squares. And if you'll look at those and look at their orientation and draw a line, that's going to be your sewing line. That'll get you ready for unit 2. And unit 3 is going to make 2 half triangle squares. So we have a pink square on the bottom, which is 6 7/8 inch. And on the top, we take the background and we make a 6 7/8 inch square. Also, lay those on each other facing. Draw a line from one corner to the other just one time. And then come out 1/4 inch from that line to each corner. And that would make your stitching lines. And that's where I pulled out that nifty tool that I have that I can just set there in the center and then go ahead and draw both sides. But you don't have to have that. And then when you get ready to stitch, on this particular item, I stitch right inside the black line, and then I come over and I stitch inside the black line on that one. And when you get ready to cut, then you'll just cut up through the center and get ready to press it. And this particular set of squares will fit so well you won't need to trim those. Sometimes you do when you do the half triangle squares. And this was the first block that I made, and it's a pink with a bluish arrow on it. And I want to show you a little bit about the arrow now. The arrow will take a strip that's 1 1/4 inches or 1 3/4 inches wide, and I'll explain that in a minute. And then it's 18 inches long, and then also a 4.5-inch square, which you're going to fold on the diagonal. And that's going to be your line to sew it on after you get your strip put on for the arrow. And why I said that is because there's at least 3 ways that you can put the strip on. One of those is to cut it at 1 1/4 inches wide, 18 inches long, and then do fusible web on the back and iron it on. Be sure you follow the directions. And then run a blanket stitch on your machine down each side. Another way to do it is to fold it lengthwise, the right sides together, make a 1/4 inch seam, and then turn the strip inside out and press it. That's another way. And then the third way, and the one that I chose to use, was that little tool that I had, that bias maker. You've seen that in one of the other videos. And with my sample, what I would do, turn it around here. Here you go. Okay. Then I'd take it and I'd set it in here at the bottom. And I cut an arrow at the top just because. You don't have to, but I do, just to get it started. And so you start that and slide it in. Then you take your tool and you start pulling it through. And as it comes through, the sides start to fold down. I'm trying to do this without with one hand. And there you see the little ends comes out. And then what I do is I continue to pull that until I see that it's coming out just right. And it's folding. And once I get a strip pulled out, a small strip, about that long, then I'll take my iron and I'll press it. And then I'll pull the next strip out and lay it like I want it, and then I'll press that. And it makes a nice strip. And that's what I have right here, and that's what I used when I did that. And then this one I could just go through and top stitch with dark thread. And then this, if you do the quilt blocks, she used 2.5-inch wide strips. And on the pink one you could see, pull it back over here, you could see that I just wanted to see how it looked. And so I had put that one on there. And as I added another one on the edge, then I'd add another sash and another block and another sash till I got to a certain place. But the sashes that would go, the borders would go as one solid piece down the side, and then would go as solid pieces across the bottom of each row. The next part's really fast, and you could, if you were making a bunch of hearts, you could chain stitch them together. But in this case, I've only made a one. So I'm going to take unit 1. I'm going to stitch on the line this time. And I'm going to slide number 2 over here, unit 2, because I actually figured out I could do that before. And carefully slide it under, put it close to where the other one ended. And that'll help to feed it through there, and feed that one through. And then I can pick this up a little bit, turn it, pull the thread, and I'm going to do the third one. And then I'll stop for a minute, because what I want to do is I want to cut those. And I want to take and cut that little corner off right here. Of course, I picked up the best scissors. And this one, you can do it back towards the back. You can do it to the front, whichever way it wants to go. If it's going to go to the front, to the white, I like to open it up so that it's not so bulky. And on this one, I will. And then I can finger press it. Or I can take it to the iron, which is next to me, and I can press it. So that's 1. Okay, 2 we've got sewn. So we're going to take and cut off the corners. And cut off the other corner. And this will give us the top half. Well, we will if I, there it goes. Okay. And then I'm going to take and I'm going to press those. Now, the other one that I just did, I noticed that the seam wanted to go up. So on this one, my second one, I'm going to take and I'm going to turn it back, just on the one on the left, because I want those two to lock when I sew them together. Now, because I've got those two laying on top of each other, and I've got the one goes one way and one goes the other, which I'm going to make it go up, I'm going to come over to the stitcher. And if you haven't started using the little strip of fabric at the beginning, it would really help you, because I got so frustrated. I said, oh, I don't have to do that. I can make it go well, I could make it go, and then I'd have to stop, and I'd have to get it untangled. Now I'm going to go my 1/4 inch all the way down that one. That's going to give us the top of the heart. So now while I've got it set up, I'm going to come to part 3, which was to make the triangle squares. And I'm going to travel inside of that black line. And then I think I'm just going to travel across a little bit. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. And I'm going to get the other side. And I'm trying to go inside. I think it's where I'm sitting. It makes it harder. Inside the black line. But I think it's still going to come out pretty good. And so now I'm going to stop and cut everything apart. Now I have the part 1 and part 2 sewn together down the center. And on that one, I open the seam. Sometimes you can press it to either direction or open it. So that's the top. Okay, now the bottom is our triangle squares. And I've sewn them and I've pressed it. And I'm going to cut off those little dog ears, puppy ears that are on the corners because they just get in the way. And then look at the orientation. And I'm going to turn those. So that makes the bottom of my heart. And sew those together and then attach it to the top. When I get ready to sew the top and the bottom together, I start in the center and I match up that seam so that it will fit just right. And then to make sure it stays in place, I take my pin, and I found that if I put it at an angle to the left going up, that 9 times out of 10 it'll stay there. And then you can line up the rest of it. And depending how comfortable you are, you can pin that or you can just sew it. Now I've sewn the top and the bottom together, and I was just going to press them one way and I didn't like it. So I went back and pressed it again so that when you look at the back, you've got your seams are open on your parts that connect, and it takes care of some bulk. So then I'm down to getting ready to put my arrow on. See, that's really pretty like it is. And when I thought of, gosh, you could do embroidery, you could add lace, you could make it as fancy as you wanted to, especially if you were making it a pillow. And so what I do is just lay that part of the arrow on there, and I'm gonna pin it in place so I don't have a wonky arrow when I get done. It still might be wonky, but might not be too bad. And I'm going to run it all the way to the end. And if you were making a quilt, a lot, you could make long running strips and run them through the bias maker or sew them and then turn them and then use that. Let's clip this piece off. And I'm going to take and run down both sides of the arrow. So I've got it stitched down on both sides, and you could have used a blanket stitch. I just used a running stitch because you're not going to see it on this particular one. And then when I got it finished, I took it to the iron, and then I gave it a good press so it would lay down. So now we're ready for the last part of our square, except for the sashings and the borders. And here's that square I had. And I have drawn a line on it, but I also had folded it in half. But I'm going to set it down here in the bottom right-hand corner. And if you're more comfortable with pinning it down, pin it in one place or a couple of places. Just don't run into them with your sewing machine. Okay, and so this is going to be one of those sew and flip, sew, clip, and flip. So here we go. Clipped off the right part, that's smart. And now I'm going to flip the arrow back. I'll be right back, going over here to the nifty iron. If you need to exercise, keep your iron in the other room, and sometimes I do that. But for this, it was so much fun just to sit there and do those parts. And so now I have 1 and I have the second one. So I can either do a pillow front and back, I can start a table runner, I can put some more colors on there. That pattern came from the Quiltmaker for January, February of this year. It's page 59. This is Stephanie at Hightower Stitching. Thank you for watching. If I forgot anything or I need to add things, I'll put those in the directions in the bottom. And I haven't done this in a little while. I guess I've been on Christmas vacation. If you enjoyed this, you got something out of it, you've got some ideas that might help someone else, please add those in your comments. Thank you.